Space may have been the final frontier, but today William Shatner explores what may be his strangest new world yet, the WGN Morning News. It's his latest stop in his over half-century of on-screen voyages, boldly going where few actors have gone before.
Let's get him, Mr. Sewell.
We may know him best as the original Captain James Tiberius Kirk, but there's so much more to the amazing career of William Shatner. In 1958, he made his movie debut with Yul Brynner and the brothers Karamazov. That led to classic roles on some of the great TV dramas of the day, including The Twilight Zone. For 3 years, starting in 1966, Shatner boarded the USS Enterprise on Star Trek that's become a cult classic, living on in rerun history in the early days here on WGN from 1969 to 81. Later, there were the 6 hit Star Trek movies, the police series T.J. Hooker, in addition to roles on other TV series and movies, writing and directing jobs, and even a commercial or two.
Save yourself some money.
More recently, Shatner won 2 Emmy Awards and a Golden Globe for his work on David E. Kelley's The Practice and then on its spin-off Boston Legal. The WGN Morning News is proud to beam in William Shatner. Let's beam him in. Let's see. How are we beaming him in? Let's see. Look at this. Look at that.
Wow. Special effects.
Well, you guys, that's extraordinary. To go to that extent is amazing. That's like the biggest production I've ever had on a news show. This has more production than movies I've been on.
It's a rarity around here. I got to ask, when you see a crowd like this,
costumes,
does it freak you out, or are you so used to this now that it doesn't even faze you?
You know what it is? I did a documentary on it called Get a Life, and in fact wrote a book about it. The people are really aficionados, Trekkies, whatever you want to call them. They get dressed up and they come to the Comic-Cons and to the conventions as a joyful event. It becomes part of their life, and it's the documentary I did. The conclusion was that it was mythology, and it's part of mythological thing that we all need and indulge in, and this is part of the ritual.
But Bill, we showed the clip earlier on Saturday Night Live where you did that sketch and you told the Star Trek fans to get a life. Did you get backlash from that at the time, and has it been an evolution to embrace this?
Well, of course, it was meant as a joke, Get a Life. And most of the people laughed and continue to laugh. And it is evolving. It's evolving as the science fiction world expands and as computer graphics expand and give you an insight into the imagination that the writers had in mind when they wrote the books. Now it's on the screen, and J.J. Abrams in this latest iteration of Star Trek, I haven't seen it, but the clips that I have seen show how far the production, the epic quality to these films are based on great artists drawing things out of their imagination.
So was it your choice to not be in these new Star Trek movies? Because I got to tell you how disappointed I was, because Leonard Nimoy is in them. I think everybody knows by now.
He chickened out.
You should have been someplace
I should have been,
you should have been.
And JJ, you know, I said, JJ, I don't want to be in your movies. And he said, okay.
Simple as that.
I don't want these millions of dollars.
Who wants that?
Yeah.
Money brings trouble.
The question is, how do you get the aging captain into when I disappeared, whatever it was, 40 years ago. So I've struggled as best I can without being in those films. And what I'm doing here, by the way, since we're on that, is at Woodridge.
Yeah, the Hollywood Boulevard Cinema in Woodridge and the Hollywood Palms in Naperville.
Exactly.
You will be doing some appearances, not only showing the new movie, but
an old movie, The Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
So I'm here sort of publicizing the fact that these two extraordinary theaters, movie theaters, I mean, it may be unique in the country or in the world for that matter. I don't know, but what you have in Chicago are these beautiful theaters playing these wonderful films. And this weekend I'll be there saying hello, signing autographs.
Can I ask, do people come up to you? You have such that distinct delivery of the way you do things. Do they do?
Why don't you take that necklace off and call me for a date?
Don't tease me. It's been a long, hot summer.
The long, hot summer's coming up.
That's right. Do people do impressions of you
No,
to you
nobody does an impression.
all the time?
No, I don't do that.
You doing it now.
Not to that. Well, maybe. Okay. Who am I to argue with one of the hosts of a morning show that I'm on?
I noticed that I was watching the old Twilight Zone episode, that classic Twilight Zone episode, and you could actually see a little bit of it even back then. It was in its birth back then.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. That is the final note. Is I don't know what's happening.
You know what's fantastic?
What's fantastic?
Watching some of the you catch an old Twilight Zone, or you catch some of these old dramas when you were first starting off, and you catch like a young William Shatner and some of these. Did you have fun doing those? Did you have any idea you were delivering something that would be so classic?
No. I've just finished an album. I've just written an album with Billy Sherwood of Yes. He's writing the music. I wrote the lyrics. So I think it's going to be terrific, but we don't know because the audience hasn't spoken yet. But it would be the same thing as saying, oh, your new album will last for 50 years. You don't be insane. I just hope they download it. A few thousand.
Right.
It has that same sort of unreality to it. Here's the phenomena of Star Trek is extraordinary. 50 years ago, a show lasts 3 years on television, and today you've got, I'm so gratified that the audience came with some wardrobe costumes on and they're having fun. But you managed to get 2 beautiful girls all made up. That reaches the most incredible part of the...
It's funny you talk about Star Trek, 3 seasons. From what I read, in the end, households were down, but the demos were huge. Did the powers that be in NBC just not get it?
What are demos?
The ratings. The young people love the show.
No, the ratings were not very good. We were... I had a show on CBS 3 years ago. We were in the top 20, and it was canceled.
Jeez.
Okay?
Yeah.
The Star Trek was like in the top 40 and lasted 3 years. It should have been canceled. It was going to be canceled each year, and then something happened that kept it going. So we were on the cusp of being canceled every time we were on.
So this new CD that you have coming out, is it more of the spoken or the music?
Actually,
is it more spoken word, or are you singing?
A lot of music and great musicians on it.
Yeah.
And Billy Sherwood himself is a great musician.
Because we love your Rocket Man rendition, and I didn't know if there was more of that.
It'll be called, I believe, Ponder the Mystery. Is the name of the album. So that'll be good. And a book, Hire Yourself, that I'm writing at the moment. And
are you also doing something with NASA? I read that you were doing something with NASA, comparing science fiction to real life science. How old science fiction has evolved into what real science is today.
Basically, that'll be a talk at Lowell Observatory in September.
Wow. Do you ever get tired? I mean,
I'm tired right now. I'm on California time, and you guys are in whatever this time is.
Yeah. But back in the day, though, I mean, you've always been working very hard. It must be a little bit easier to spend time with family now, and now that you have grandkids, and life must be a little bit different in that regard.
Well, my life divides itself up into family and work and horses and dogs. Just recently, I drove from Austin, Texas, where we picked up 2 puppies, 2 9-week-old puppies from our stud dog who had bred a female dog in Austin, and we drove cross-country, my wife and I, with these 2 puppies to add to our household. We now have 4 Dobermans at home.
Boy, in our RV trip. That I did.
Well, it was in a car, actually.
Wow, that's a reality show right there.
Well, we were thinking it was the Shat Pack.
Careful how you say it.
Right, exactly. Well, there's a lot of that, too, because those puppies, you know.
The Dobermans.
I don't know how they crap that out, but it's worthy of note, I think.
Well, William Shatner is going to be
of that.
live in person this weekend, today and Sunday at the Hollywood Boulevard Cinema in Woodridge, Saturday at the Hollywood Palm Cinema in Naperville. Check their website for more information.
Come on and see it.
We've got more of William Shatner coming up in a little while. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, everybody, for coming in.
Thanks for coming in.